Hey, welcome to Six Lads and a Camera D&D. This is David, your DM. This is sort of a different video just to say a number of things. The first thing we want to say is thanks so much, you guys, for your support. A lot of you guys have been liking the videos, commenting, subscribing, and it really helps in telling us that you guys are enjoying the content that we're creating, and it helps YouTube get us out to more people. So thanks so much for the love and support that you guys are showing us right now. Why I'm here today in this sort of strange format, there's a bunch of reasons. The first main reason and the main sort of opportunity here is people have been asking us questions in the comments about their sort of watching the videos, and they're sort of confused as to what is going on in the videos and what we're actually doing here. And so this video is an opportunity to sort of explain things for newer players, people who aren't familiar with D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, the game that we play. And sort of another one, we're going to just do people have sort of more experienced players who understand the game have been sort of the jumping off point isn't quite clear of sort of where the characters are in the story. And what we're going to do in this short video is we're going to just give a quick story synopsis of the story so far. And then the last thing is, I guess, we're going to go through the players, who is playing who, and sort of a short overview of the players. We're going to be discussing some of a brief synopsis of the game rules and sort of how the characters figure out what they do and when. And so that's sort of all we're going to go through today. A nice quick one just to clarify and get you guys up to speed. So the first one, D&D. Dungeons and Dragons. So there's three sort of core things that you guys need to know here, and I'm going to explain them one by one. So first of all, my role in the story. As the DM, my job is to facilitate the players in doing what they want to do. I come up with the story, I come up with the scenarios, I come up with the scenes, and then I describe them to the players, and they get to do whatever the hell they want to those scenes. And then the player's role is simply to have fun and enjoy the game world and create these bizarre sort of scenarios that they seem to keep getting themselves in. And that's the loop that is continuously happening is the DM describes a scene, myself, and then the players around the table react to what is happening. And all of that is determined, the outcomes are all determined by the rule book, by the dice rolls, and the character sheets that the players have. So the rulebook, we're playing 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, and all of the rules and the guidelines are sort of laid out there towards which it's all sort of, it's a big book with all these sort of things that tell you how to do what and how things are resolved. These are the dice that we use. Most of it is done on the big D20 dice, and anytime I'm asking them for any sort of challenges, anything that has to do with a chance, a probability, we roll dice for. And the other common one is damage. And each player, so the GM plays the world, everything that goes on, everything that goes that happens in the story is interpreted by the GM and discussed and displayed to the players. The players themselves only play one character, and that character is defined to them by their own imagination and by what is called a character sheet. The character sheet has all the numbers on it and all the letters on it that tell the player sitting at the table what their character can do. And I'm just going to shoot up an example there of sort of a general basic. You guys have seen this before if you've watched the videos. These sort of flashing up things. These are the character sheets, and we've displayed them in a way that experienced players will be able to pick up quite quickly who is good at what and who has a particularly powerful character and who is sort of a bit more lacking. Other than that, and so that hopefully that answers your sort of questions on sort of what is going on. For more experienced players, we do have some house rules regarding crits and how certain magics work, and those will be explained as we go, as the campaign progresses. And again, for more experienced players as well, sort of the type of story we're telling here is one of consequence. So I hope you enjoy. And as far as I can tell, that does it for the basic concept of what's going on. And I suppose the next thing to help people understand is just to give a background of where the guys pick up from episode 1, where they've been so far, and sort of get everybody caught up in that sense. And this is sort of directed towards people who are experienced with the game and people who are picking up watching for the first time. So this is year 2 of a 6-year-long campaign. We've been playing for 2 years, and in that time, 2 years out of game, in that time, the characters that the players have played have been traveling together for about a month, of solving puzzles, doing odd jobs for people, and generally getting into trouble and occasionally blowing stuff up. That's sort of how long they've been together, and some more than others, as I'll explain when we get to the characters. Where their journey has taken them. They started in a small town called Frontier, and it is mentioned a couple of times by the players and by myself as the story goes through. And they went from that small town of Frontier, sort of dealing with the town's problems, to the great city of Everwinter. And Everwinter is also discussed. It's sort of a theocratic state with a monarchy and a merchant class, and is the epicenter of all that sort of happens in the region. However, tragedy struck, and where the characters pick up from episode 1 as recorded and edited and shown for you guys, episode 1 starts as the party arrive in the town of Waypoint. And the reason they've come here is to resurrect a fallen companion. Akash, who plays Nico in the series, had previously lost a character called Zebu, and the party's attempt to revive that character has led them to their current situation. And that's what they're up to. That's what they're doing. They met. Some of them joined up when they were in the city, and now they're sort of here trying to save their comrade. So I hope that gets everybody up to speed on what's going on. As for the players, each player plays one character at any given time, and this table is a joy to me. These players are incredible. They play their characters with gusto and reverence, and it's a blast to play with these guys. So up first, we have none other than Lewis playing Hanzo Akida. Hanzo is a 50-year-old human who is a rogue fighter multiclass. Hanzo is sort of a simple warrior living a wandering life, with maybe wandering away from something more than wandering in any given direction. A wandering warrior with a haunted past, which occasionally finds its way into his dreams, and perhaps may, in a future, or I believe has already happened, manifests itself in peculiar ways. Hanzo is at times cautious, at times carefree, and he definitely likes gold and shinies. And Hanzo was a blast. Akash plays Nico, a young half-elven, he's a half-elf, bard sorcerer. A bit of a hopeful individual who yearns for adventure and story and maybe even legend. As a devout sort of appreciator of the people around him and the society that they live in, he sort of approaches his his adventuring with a curious mind and a willful wanderlust. Though not without a bit of a head on his shoulders. The interesting thing about this half-elf is one of his arms is a bronze metallic scaled form, a testament to his draconic bloodline, the draconic blood that flows in his veins from some sort of interaction that one of his ancestors may have had in his past. And he joins the party quite recently. As stated before, this is Akosh's new character as they pick up in Waypoint. They've been travelling with him for a couple of days and has proved his usefulness more than once. Trevor is playing Rudius, an adolescent human wizard who is the absolute powerhouse of the party. He's been trained by the elves of the forests up in the north and has a sort of a mysterious past that has never been pressed upon. Nobody's really asked him and he hasn't said much about it. But he does sort of come out these strange musings from time to time. Currently, Rudius is traveling with the party and just enjoying the raw power that he has accumulated in these past few weeks. And of course, the sort of traveling with an adventuring party tends to lead you into dangerous situations, and danger is a learning opportunity. Ago is playing Six-Axis, the Lizardman, a young Lizardman druid, a rare specimen, not ever really seen south of the mountains that are north of Everwinter. The Lizardman is quite a peculiar spectacle. One merchant having recently offered 15,000 gold to get the Lizardman into his custody, at which the party begrudgingly refused. Six-Axis seems to be on some sort of quest of discovery, ever curious, ever cautious, ever vigilant, and ever ready to dive into new experiences. Six-Axis is a pleasure at the table. Thibaut is playing Gunnar, another recent addition to the party, though a bit longer than Nico has been there. Gunnar has gone through a very rapid transformation into very much becoming an enmeshed role within the party, almost like a party mum. He is passionate about food. The young dwarf ranger is passionate about food, and met them in the city after they had left Frontier and made their travels to the epicenter of current known world, and decided to stay. The hunt fascinates Gunnar. Tracking prey, cooking it, turning it into a meal, has been his ethos for quite a long time. Though his past is again a bit mysterious, not very much talked about, but still perhaps ever present in the dwarf's mind, or maybe only from time to time. Frank is playing Slevin, a half-orc barbarian, battle-hardened and bloodthirsty. Slevin is very simple. He just enjoys killing things. The bigger the better. And has joined the party shortly after Gunnar did. And sort of as they did trek into quite a dangerous situation, Slevin was more than happy to tag along and meet more danger. He loved the killing and he stayed for the killing. And that's sort of all the characters as they've come up there for you guys with an example of their character sheet. Some honorable mentions, again, Zebu, Akosh's previous character, a young Air Genasi warlock, and Zebu is the reason that the party came to Frontier. And his fate is yet to be decided as of this episode. And lastly, another player who will be joining us in a later episode. Look forward to meeting them and who they'll be playing. So I hope that clears up any confusion for you guys. If you guys have any questions, any sort of wonderings, anything that you're still confused about, be sure to don't be afraid to leave us a comment, and I'll try and be as transparent as I can with the answer. But thank you again very much for watching. Your support means a lot to us, and have a good day. Hey, it's David again. One thing I forgot to mention as one of the reasons why we made this strange formatted episode was there is a bit of a time skip between the last recorded episode and the next one. Some of our files were damaged, and there wasn't enough footage there to be able to make an episode that made sense. So where we pick up in the next episode is after the events of the previous episode that has been recorded. The party decide to leave Waypoint and head into the swamps to potentially deal with the hag that has been causing so much problems for the village of Waypoint. People are getting sick. Tragedies kept happening. It was mentioned a couple of times. And so the party believed that perhaps going to deal with the hag would be a pretty good alibi for why they were in the area in the first place. As they trek through the swamp, they find the place is quite inhospitable. And they also find a number of individuals in the swamp who seem to be perpetually trapped, suffering in traumatic situations, and that seem to repeat over and over again, and all seem to know of the hag. One in particular individual that they meet asks them would it be okay to join them, as he claims to be trapped in the swamp by the hag, and may want to finally resolve that. And so this NPC follows the party as they, picking up from the next episode, find themselves just outside a small little shack with a very peculiar statue and a very peculiar mirror. And that's where we're going to pick up next episode. Thanks again so much, you guys, for watching and showing us all support. Hope you have a good night. I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a good morning. And good luck.